How are you all? I hear that it's raining in some parts of the world. Here it's sunny in Ohio. It is sunny. There's the sunshine through the trees. But how are you all doing today? It is Khalifa, Carolina, and Moya with Build a Sister Up. And you know, we come on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 minutes real quick. We step our head in, we step our head out, but we are happy to talk to you all. And I think we got a good topic. So I'll just slide it over.
The topic for today is if you are behind on child support payments, don't call your kids often. Should your child's mother or father keep the child from you? Once again, that was if you are behind on child support payments, don't call your kids often. Should your child's mother or father keep the child from you? The child always should be able to see their parents, even if they are behind on child support payments. Unfortunately, I mean, this is just my opinion. Y'all gonna do what y'all want to do, but as for me, what I would do, I would still allow the child to see their parents, because at the end of the day, the child could hold that against me. I'm not sure how that my child will grow up. You know, my child may say, hey, even though dad or mom was behind on payments, you could have still let him see me, whatever the case. But I just don't want anything left on me. I'm going to do everything that I can as a parent on my end. And when the child grows up, and they're going to look back and look at the other parents in and how they've been handling things and make a determination based off of that. But if I do everything I can on my end, then, you know, there shouldn't be anybody mad at me. So I would still allow my child to see their parent or his father if he was still behind on child support payments.
So would I allow my child to see their father if the father didn't pay child support and didn't call often? Yes, because that's one of those bonds that's unbreakable, and they're going to want to see them, no matter where, even know about their whereabouts. And if they or even wonder or inquire in the back of their head, even if they tell you they're fine, they don't want to see their dad or their mom, I think my child would want to still see them. But I'm on the other end of taking care of my child. I'm going to be doing my best to take care of my child on my own, but legally, financially, each parent has that obligation. I'm going to keep that in my head. I'm going to always pursue and try and enforce, or, you know, get the courts to enforce that the other parent is providing financially. But now the courts can't make you see your children, but they can make you provide financially. But I'm going to do my best to keep those lines of communication open, because I do know that it takes two to raise a child. So I would definitely not interfere with them attempting to bond. Now, it could cause hurt and pain because of the other portion of not actually calling often and keeping up. But it's a choice that I guess I made as the other parent. I didn't know that the other parent would be doing that, maybe, but those things happen in life, and my child would just have to go through it. But I still wouldn't want to interfere when that other parent does call or does try and reach out. So I'm going to actually assess the situation and try and figure out why this parent is not calling often or keeping up. And if it is against my child's best interest, say for instance, the parent is on drugs or something, or just a gangbanger, you know, something dangerous, I am going to take my child away. So only in extreme circumstances would I interfere with that. But if they're just calling just randomly and not often, I couldn't say that I would stop that bond from forming continuing.
So this question came about because I was watching paternity. I was watching an episode on paternity court, and the young lady, she didn't know she said she knew that the baby's father was her child's father, but the baby's father said he didn't know, although he signed the birth certificate. So the mom did the guy's mom. He did not like the baby's mother and everything. They were arguing back and forth. But make a long story short, the child is his child. And one thing the judge said was that although he hasn't been paying child support because he wasn't sure, and what she would do sometimes, she would tell him, you can only see the baby if you buy Pampers. If you didn't buy Pampers, you're not gonna see him. So the judge said, legally, that's two separate cases. It's two separate cases. If you take them to child support, that's one case. But if they go down and say, I want visitation rights, you have no right to stop him from seeing the child. Although he's on back child support. She said, you have no right to stop him. And so I never heard it put like that, you know. So a lot of people, from what I hear.
Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
You never heard it put like that before? I do have to say, let
No,
me
I
give
never actually.
well, let
heard
me give a
it.
disclaimer.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I practice family law,
Yeah.
and yes, there are two separate cases, but what is your thoughts on it
Okay.
outside the show?
So now she did say the
Whoa,
only
whoa. That's what I
Well,
want to
let me
know.
finish, and I'm gonna
I
get
wanted
to it.
that. I didn't want you to bring in the actual law, remember? Because
Oh,
we know. Yeah, we know.
okay.
Okay.
We're not
So,
bringing in the law.
right,
But
not bringing in the law. We want to know your actual thoughts, because a lot of women and men actually do go. It's a real life thing. A lot don't actually.
they do.
Yeah, a lot
Okay, so
don't
we won't bring
actually. They don't act out of. I was actually watching Joseph Prince yesterday, and he said we should, think with. I'm a logical thinker, I would say.
Okay.
But when we delve into the Bible, we should actually be thinking, why are we reasoning with why are we reasoning in our hearts with our minds, as opposed to reasoning in our hearts with seeing or understanding, as opposed to seeing and understanding.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, outside of the actual law, because in real life people don't actually always follow the law, and that's why you have to bring in the law. That's why you have to go to court. So what are your thoughts as on the actual topic?
Now, without bringing, she made a good point, because she's an attorney. So, that's why she was like, hey, don't say that. Okay. So I get it. So my actual opinion is this. And I'm going to say my opinion, then I'm also going to ask you all a question too. My opinion is this. If I had a child, because before I got married, the person I'm married to is my child's father. But before I got married, he had told me before, and Donald, I put him on blast, but he told me before, I said, you can't see Deja. I don't remember saying nothing like that. Even if I did say it,
You said he told you before you said that?
He told me I said that to him, but I don't think that was true. I don't think that was true, because I ain't say nothing like that. But that's what he said. But if I said it, probably was that day or whatever, and he saw her. So my thing is, and the reason why I'm talking about me, because I'm a woman, and other women, I heard this too. So I'm gonna say this, that if I wasn't with him, I would have to let him see my child. I would have to, because it's not fair. It's not fair on the child, even though I might have a grudge with him, or even though he's with somebody else and I still like him. It's not fair for the child, because that child is going to get older. That child is not going to be a child no more. It's going to turn 18, 15, 16, 17, all the ages. And the other spouse, or if it's the male or female, because that's why the question is, if your baby's father or mother, because if that other partner didn't allow you to see the child, what's going to happen is that partner eventually, or baby's father or mother, they're going to tell the child, I didn't come around because your mother wouldn't let me see you. So now the child can in turn be mad at you. You don't know how things are going to happen when these kids get older. So my question for you all, what if you still like the guy? And I'm saying guys because we're women and so if you still like the guy and he has a girlfriend, are you going to be okay with letting him see your child? And these are just our opinions,
Yeah, and the girlfriend is around my child. I mean, it just depends on how she treats my child. I would have to let him know, I don't feel comfortable. If she is mistreating my child, I would have to let him know I don't feel comfortable with, my child being around him. Now, if it's really damaging my child's well-being, then I'm gonna just have to say, no, you can't see my child with, your girlfriend under those type of circumstances. If it's damaging towards my child, but if it's to the point where I just don't like her for my own personal reasons because I'm upset that he moved on, then that I have to suck it up and do what's best for my child.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, that's what I would agree with. I would say I guess I'll sum it up, whether the question is, am I going to stop my child from being seen by their other parent? If the other parent is not paying child support, if we broke up and I am still in love with this person, or if they don't call often, the only circumstance I would stop the child from, getting a relationship with that other parent is when they do pose a threat of danger, physical or mental. I think there is going to be that risk of mental, damage, a little bit of mental damage if the parent isn't calling often and just dropping in randomly. There is going to be that, but I still rather have some kind of presence rather than none, unless that person, once again, is causing physical or serious mental damage. So whether it be the parent isn't paying child support, the parent is dropping by randomly, or I am still in love with the parent, I'm definitely not going to stop that bond form if I'm still in love with them and they moved on. That's something that I have to deal with. I'm not going to put that on my child. So unless there's serious threat of danger, then I won't interfere.
I mean, I've heard women tell me, and these are true stories, women tell me, well, I'm not going to let my child's father see the baby because he don't have a job. Like, that's it's like, to me, that doesn't make sense. And I know some women or men might say, that's stupid that you said that, but you still
I guess that's their
power.
own personal
It is
way to deal with their child. But like I said, for me and my child,
right.
I wouldn't do it because, again, I don't want that guilt falling back on me when the child gets older.
That I'm making. Yeah. That's my point there that I'm making, is that.
So I would just do everything that I can on my end. So I know that my conscience is clear. Nobody got to come back and say, why didn't you? They don't have to check for me. I have everything that I, should have done as a parent checked off. So me and my child are good. Now, my child and their parent, I don't know. That's on them. But, do everything from my end, take my child to counseling, get them to see a father figure if I need to. In the absence of his father, that case. So do everything I can from my end so that I know I'm doing everything I can for my child.
Now, on the other end,
go ahead.
On the other end, for the parents who do not even, have that, they're not still in love with their child's other half. For the parents who strictly say that I'm not letting you see your child unless you pay some child support, it is a financial burden to take on by yourself. So you can understand, I can understand why they're like, you're not contributing, then you're not seeing. I tried to make a catchy thing, but I couldn't think of one real quick. But I can understand it, and I can foresee it being troublesome and causing serious stress on the parent that does have to take on the sole burden of being the caregiver and the financial provider for their child. So it's like, why do you get to just drop in and see this child whenever you want, but I'm here and I have to take on all the responsibilities, the onus is on me to do everything, and no, you can't see your kid. So I get it. but it's hard to actually separate the two and you know, it's not always easy to do and think about what's best for your actual child. Some parents don't actually do what's best for the child, but think they're actually are. So that's a hard question to answer if you are the one that is taking on the responsibility of everything for your child.
It is. I understand that. I mean, also too, I was thinking, you know, a lot of people, because I even know men that have full custody of the kids, and the moms see them whenever. So I know both situations. Well, I've talked to people in both situations. But to me, it's like, you have to do everything what's best for the child. And sometimes we as people, we do get our feelings involved as the parents, and we get our feelings hurt from our past relationships, how this child got about, or what you doing with your life or whatever. But if you, well, I don't want to tell people what to do, but this is what I'm going to say me. If I didn't feel comfortable with this person, I'm going to make sure that they still have some form of communication. If it's on the phone, or we have internet now, you could do, what's this called? Zoom. You could talk to them on Zoom or Skype, or what's the other thing that's gone away? House party.
FaceTime, anything.
FaceTime, house party. So to me, it's so many ways that if you're not comfortable now with the person being in the same room, it's so many ways that you can talk to the person until you get to that relationship. So to me, it's like, try your best to try and make it as comfortable for the child, because that child is going to grow up and it's going to get older. My daughter's now is 21. You know, so she went from an infant to 21. It seemed like just like yesterday.
Overnight.
So, yeah. So it's like a lot of parents, we don't think about that because we're so caught up in our own feelings and whatever went on. And I'm not dismissing nobody's feelings. I understand everybody goes through things in relationships, because we do. But the child is going to have their own feelings. And we can try and tell the child how to feel. We can talk good or bad about the parent now, but I'm gonna tell you, when those kids get older, they're gonna think whatever they want to. And all you can do is pray for them.
All right, this was a very interesting and much needed topic. It happens every single day in a community. As always, if you did not catch us live and you want to go back and you want to comment on this topic here, please do so. Share your thoughts. We would love to know how you feel about this. As always, remember to build bold, build better, build brilliant, build a brother up, build a sister up.
Bye.